G'day, welcome back to the Design, Creativity and Technology channel. My name's Aaron. In episode 6 of Fusion Fortnight, we're going to be looking at the web command inside Fusion 360. Now this isn't a command that I use all that often. However, I can see its purpose, especially in today's world of 3D printing. If you come from a tool and die maker's background, no doubt you'll be using webbing when constructing your dies for injection molding or casting and that sort of thing. If you're like me, you're a bit of a neat freak and you like your home DIY shop to stay neat and tidy. So I love picking up these little plastic containers from the $2 shops or from my auto shop or hardware shop, and they keep all my little nuts and bolts and electronic connectors organised, neat and tidy. So today we're going to try and draw one of these containers and put the webbing in it, and hopefully you can follow along at home at your own pace. And by the end of the tutorial, you will have a drawing, a little compartment that you'll be able to 3D print at home. And I'll show you how to export the STL file so you can 3D print it.
Okay, let's get started. We're going to click on a new design. We're going to click on Create a Sketch. And we're going to click the right-hand plane. Press the R key on the keyboard for rectangle. And we're going to draw a rectangle down here. Our rectangle is going to be 30 millimeters high, tab, by 75 millimeters long, tab, enter. Put it back into the home view and press this, click this front face here, press E for extrude. We're going to drag out now 115 millimeters, tab, enter, back to our home view. Now, we could put a fillet on here now, but let's do it back in the sketch, and this is good practice to learn to modify your sketches. So edit sketch, up to the sketch window icon here, we're going to pick the fillet tab, click fillet, and we're going to type in 15, tab, enter, stop sketch, and we can come out of that now. Okay, we want to click the top face and go to modify, and we're going to create a shell. Click the shell button here, have a 2 millimeter offset in our shell, click enter. What we want to do now is click this bottom face here of our box, of our hollowed out box, and we're going to press the L for line key on the keyboard. We're going to draw a center line here, making sure it is horizontal, and we're going to draw escape out of that, L for line. We're just going to draw a line from here into the center, escape, and L for line from here and out, escape. All right, let's put some dimensions on this now. D for dimension key, click the outside edge, click the line, and I want you to type in 75 slash, which is divided by 2, press enter. Okay, D for dimension, we're going to click this outside edge here, click our line and drag to the top. This one here will be 35 millimeters, enter. Actually, we'll change that to 30 millimeters, enter. Okay, click our outside line, click our next line. So this way we're keeping, if you notice in my sketch, the top left is becoming the datum point, and all our dimensions are coming from this top left point here. 115, and we're going to minus, so the negative key, 30, enter, and that will set us up there for the other one here. We're going to stop sketch. We're going to view it back into the home view now. We're going to click the create key, and we're going to come down to web. We're going to pick that point there, this one here as well. You need to hold down the control key to pick up more points. You can see this one here is hidden a little bit, so I'm just going to free orbit around a little bit to pick it up. And there's my point, hold the control key down. Now, you'll notice that I've unchecked extend curves. So if I wanted the partition to go all the way through either side, I would turn on the extend curves. I'm going to turn this off. Notice that I've picked 3 here. I'm going to have it symmetric, 2 next. Now, if I didn't want the height of that to be all the way, I could actually click here and go depth and change my depth here to say 10 mil. And you can see the partition will only come 10 millimeters up from the ground plane. But mine's going to go to next. I'm happy with that, okay? You notice I've got the flip direction turned on here. Without it, it's not working. So flip direction on, click OK, and you can see my webs have now been formed. Okay, this is what we'd like to do now. I'm going to view onto the right-hand plane. Zoom in, we're going to click that face, we're going to create a offset plane here. Our offset will be negative 15, enter. click the plane you've just drawn, and this time now we can press L for line. And we're going to start drawing the hinges. We're going to snap the line to that point and just drag out. And click the green checkbox to terminate. Escape key, I'm going to click the line again now, come up here and turn it into a construction line. C for circle, click on my line out here, and I'm going to create 2 circles. Now I'm going to put some dimensions in these. The big one will be a 5mm OD. The small one here, D for dimension, will be 2mm. Now, a couple of little tricks here, and these are good points to point out, and these will point out to my good friend in New Zealand, Scott Moyes from CAD Pro. If you haven't heard of Scott, look him up on Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. Scott is actually an Autodesk Elite practitioner, and he's also a bit of a mentor for me within Fusion 360. Like I said in this game, guys, teachers don't know everything. We're not encyclopedias. Okay. What I want to do now is click this outside diameter, hold my shift key down, and escape out of that because I still had dimension up. Click the outside diameter here of the circle, hold the shift key and pick that edge. What we're going to do now is make this coincident. Okay, this button here, and it should snap over. That point, sorry, my mistake. So, alpha line, we're going to click about there, drag our line out and terminate. Now we want to make this line tangential, but the first thing we're going to do is put a dimension constraint from that point to that point there. Okay, and we want 8mm, all right? So now we're going to click that circle, hold down our shift key, once again, get out of the dimensioning, click that, hold the shift key, click that line. This will be a tangent. Now this is where, if you watched my video from Fusion Fortnightly number 5, I should have applied this tangent constraint, okay, and I didn't. So I do apologise. Once again, thanks to Scott Moyes for showing me the error in my ways. Click the button there, and you can see now that I've snapped it and this tangential constraint has appeared. Now I just want to trim this little bit off here. So what you're going to press here, T for trim, you'll notice the trim tool comes up, and you're going to trim that, zoom in and get that little piece here. And this will just clean up the sketch a little bit. I'm going to trim that piece there as well. Okay, back into our home view. Okay, actually I'll stay in the right hand window for this one. Zoom in, E for extrude. I'm going to click this one here, back to my home window now. I'm going to drag this back 25mm and click OK. Alrighty, you can see 1/2 of my hinge has now been completed. So now I need to do that cut through in here, all right? So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to pick this top face, R for rectangle. Now I'm just going to draw a rectangle here along that bottom line and out. I'm going to put some dimensions in now. D for dimension. From this edge to that edge will be 9mm, okay? Now, D for dimension, we're going to click this one and that one. We're going to do a formula here. So this will be 25, subtract 9, enter. And just to show you, that should be 7, okay? But I'm not going to snap it. I don't want to over constrain it. E for extrude, I'm going to click that little rectangle that I drew. I'm going to make sure as I come down here now, it's going to be symmetrical. It's going to be a cut. And as I drag through to about 10mm, I'll OK it. And looking from the right now, you can see that that hinge has now been completed. Sorry, let's click one more around. You can see it on here. All right, and we can look back down here and it should be nice, no problem at all. Okay, we need to duplicate this hinge now, okay? So the best and the easiest way to do that is to create a pattern, a rectangular pattern, okay? Make sure that you've got features selected. In objects, come down to your timeline now, and you want to pick that one and that one, okay? Direction now, click the next box, click the edge of your box here. You can see it just going dark as I touch it. And I'm going to drag these down now. I'm going to make my checkbox 2, and the distance will be 66. Okay, and click OK. And you can see now I've got my other hinge on the other side, and I didn't have to redraw it. Okay, let's save our work, guys. So click Save, and I'm going to put it up here, Demo 6. Save. All right. Okie dokie, let's make this into a component now. So in our bodies, click the arrow for the drop down. Here's our body. I can turn it on, turn it off. Once again, from last week, right click on that, create a component, okay? Click it once, click it again, box, base, enter. Let's start drawing the lid. Let's turn off our box. We're going to click a new sketch, click the ground plane, R for rectangle, and we're going to draw ourselves a rectangle, and the rectangle is going to be 75 millimeters wide by 115 millimeters long, tab, enter. Back up to the home view, E for extrude, click our profile, let's drag that up 2 millimeters, so 2 in the positive direction, and OK it. Let's view in now from the right hand side, and we need to create another offset plane. So let's click this window here. I'm going to click construction, offset plane. The offset plane will be in the negative direction, and it's going to be minus 24. Enter. Okay, click on the plane, and let's draw our alpha line. So alpha line now, I'm going to snap the line to the bottom corner and drag out horizontally. Click the green button to terminate. Press C for circle. Draw our circle on the line, and it's going to be 5 mil. Tab, enter. We can drag that dimension out. Once again, I'm going to click that line and turn that into construction so it will be ignored by the sketch. Okay, we're going to click our circle, hold the shift key down and click that point. We're going to click coincident, and that should snap it to it. Alpha line tool now, click that top corner and just drag out here. We're going to do another tangent on that circle. Click our line, hold the shift key, click the circle, and we need to click the tangent button. Okay, T for trim. We can now trim off that line there, and we can also trim that line there. Now you can see that it hasn't changed colour. That means it's not a valid sketch, it's open. So alpha line, and what we're going to do now is draw our line out and snap it to here, and you'll be happy to know now that you can see that this is a valid sketch. E for extrude, we're going to click that back to our home window. I'm going to drag that down. Now I believe it's 7 millimeters, so minus 7, and enter. Now, what I forgot to do back in here was to create a circle in that sketch. So on our sketch, right click and go edit sketch, and C for circle. Draw this out now to 2, tab, enter. You can bring that dimension out. Stop sketch. We need to edit the feature now. Right click, edit feature. Where it says 2 selected, close it, so deselect it, and just select that profile, and you've fixed it, okay? All right, we need to duplicate this as well. Okay, so create, we're going to do a pattern, rectangular pattern. Once again, make sure you've selected features. You're going to pick that feature. In the direction, click the box along that line now, and you're going to type in, you want 2, and it's going to be 66, and enter. Okay, so we've got our lid completed now. We can convert that into a component. So create component from bodies, and we're going to call that box lid. Enter. Okay, we can turn our box back on. We can see it here. Now let's put a joint in, guys, all right? So on our box base, we're going to right click on it and ground the box, okay? We're going to click the joint button, and we're going to zoom in here, and on this first joint, you can see me zooming in on the face, hold the control key and snap it to that center point. Notice here, you want that center point there, and come out. Okay, we're going to free orbit around now, and this is where I escape out of that. We need to zoom in, touch that face, hold our control key, and click there. The joint we want today will be a revolute, and we're going to click OK. Come back to our home window here. All right, you can see we're right over here with our other joint. We're going to edit the limit on that joint now, so right click, edit joint limit. Minimum will be 0 degrees, maximum will be 180, so 18. We can animate it, so you can check it, and stop it, OK it. Okay, so let's do up our pins now to insert into the hinge, and we're going to turn off our lid and base, click a new sketch, and we're just going to pick this window here, C for circle, let's draw ourselves a pin, D for dimension, be 2 millimeters, tab enter. We're going to extrude that pin now. We can bring him out 25 millimeters, tab enter. Okay, here it is here. Let's convert this into a body, create a body. There it is there. Change the name of that to box pin, enter. What we can do now is copy that, so right click on it and we're going to go copy. Use Control V key and paste it. Let's just move it down here out of the way. Click OK. Alrighty, we can turn back on our boxes now and the lids. Base box, and here we have the pin 1 and pin 2. Okay, we can insert that into the drawing now. So what we'll do here, we'll actually turn off the box and lid, and we're going to go joint. We're going to pick this face here, turn back on our box, zoom back out, drag over. We're going to pick up this face here, hold our control key, pick up the center, and we're going to flip it. We're going to make it a rigid joint. Okay, and OK it. We can now do the same with the other one. Joint, pick this front face here, control key so it snaps to that front point, zoom back in, this face here, control key, that center point, flip it, make sure it's a rigid joint. Alrighty, now we can put our own emblem on the side of the box or the top of the box, wherever you want to put it, and this will be done as a DXF file. So we're going to, up on the top line here, you'll see the insert drop down key here, click on that, click Insert DXF. The plane sketch. So once again, it is sequential. So start from the top and work your way down. So pick the face you want to put the DXF on. Choose your DXF from a file. So in my case, it will be on my desktop. It'll be in today's tutorial. It'll be this DXF here and open. Just give it a second. The DXF will come in. I'm going to view onto the right window now. You can see it's not on the sketch where I want it. Drag it down to roughly where I want it and click OK. Alrighty, I'm going to extrude that now, so E for extrude. Pick this profile, I type in 1 millimeter and click OK. And in the home view now you can see my embossed emblem has come up here. So click on the part that you wish to 3D print. So that if I wanted to print, I'll turn these ones off. Okay, I want to print my box first, so I would select my box, right click on it, and you want to export that as an STL. So save as STL. Click that, you can put it in your folder wherever you want to put it, click OK, bring it into your 3D printer and print your part. Okay, the same with the lid. The pins, I wouldn't suggest 3D printing them. I'd actually just grab some roll pins or some solid dowel pins to put in there. Okay.
Well, that concludes episode 6 of Fusion Fortnight. I hope you got something out of this tutorial, and especially get a chance to use the web function for yourself at home. In wrapping up tonight's video, I'd like to thank Zach from Black Hill Precision for sending me some stickers out in the mail all the way over from the United States. He's given me an A-bomb sticker and some of his own stickers. I'd like to thank my good friend Janeden for this lovely cup, and I had a little chuckle at the writing on it. I won't repeat it here on the video. Also, I'd like to thank my very good friend Lionel Connell, who is actually a master machinist, you could say that, and from all the way in Vietnam. He runs his workshop over there these days. He's an expat, doesn't live in Australia anymore. So he sent me this beautiful candle engine, and we'll do a video on that at some other point. We'll do a tutorial where I'll get you to draw it with me in a top-down design, and hopefully you can make this yourself as well at home. Alrighty, well, I'm just working my shop today, trying to get my mill up and running, and it's actually working now. It's homing, I've got it moving and jogging, and big shout out to Jatinder from Hind Technology Group. As you know, I've ditched Mark III and I've gone with Jatinder's controller, and this is called the Masso. And Jatinder hopefully will be popping down here soon, and we'll do a video on his controller inside my machine, and it's a new home and it's new where it's being relocated. Alrighty. Thanks again, thanks for tuning in, and if you've got any questions, post them below, and as always, I'll put the link to the file in the description, and hope to see you next time. All right.